This has to be one of the biggest Bible verses about love. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It's not arrogant. But what if I was to tell you that verse is not about romantic love? I mean, if you want to cherry pick that verse to describe romantic love, you can. Most people do. But in context, this verse is part of Paul's beat down of the Corinthian church, a church that was splitting for various reasons, its members hating on each other, and whose community was falling apart due to sex and scandal. So let's set the scene. Corinth was a convention spot for the ancient world, in ancient New Orleans, Miami, or Vegas. And in Corinth, the Temple of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, was a place of pagan pilgrimage from throughout the Greco-Roman world. Now, some historians say there was temple prostitution going on. Some scholars say that whole idea is kind of overblown. There's loads of debate there. But no matter what, Corinth was a popular place to be for many reasons, with all different types of personalities from the ancient world converging on this one spot. And in this city, you had the baby Corinthian church, a collection of 5 to 7 house churches, maybe more, that may have occasionally all met in one bigger house run by a fellow named Gaius, mentioned in 1 Corinthians 1 and maybe Romans 16. So you got people from all over the empire coming to Corinth, and some obviously were being baptized into this new Christian faith. But when a person becomes a new believer, it's not like they have a magic wand waved over them and abracadabra, everything's good, right? People still have habits which might not be considered beneficial, different loyalties, all sorts of stuff. And here you've got a Corinthian culture, a pagan culture, where some things like sex is just not a big deal. And we all know how Paul felt about sex, as he considered celibacy the life for him, as it allowed him to focus on spiritual matters. And the Corinthian church had some serious issues with its members, with one member even willingly participating in incest, to which Paul was like, dang, even the pagans would be pissed off about that one. You trying to bring all that up in here? And things didn't stop there. Along with lust issues, the Corinthian church had schisms developing along lines of leadership, social class, marriage, age, you name it. Members of this church were airing each other's extremely dirty laundry, even in the public courts. And some members of the church, when sharing communal meals, were getting smashed on communal wine. Now, there was no prohibition on drinking. Everybody drank. Every true archaeologist and scholar will back that up. But members of this city's churches were using these occasions to not drink a glass of wine, but to drink buckets of the stuff. And if you get a bunch of people from different backgrounds with different issues who hail from different class structures and loyalties, and they're getting smashed on wine, guess what happens? Problems. I mean, think about what happened at your last office Christmas party. Now multiply that times 10 and mix faith into it. Problems. But here's the thing. The one thing the Corinthian church was moving in was spiritual power. Signs, miracles, wonders, prophecies, speaking in tongues. In fact, more than any other church in the New Testament, the Corinthian church was booming in manifestations of the Spirit. So, in regard to 1 Corinthians 13, Paul's basically saying, hey there, big-time church, you think you're hot stuff. You got this gift and that gift, but you are freaking falling apart at the seams. You're lacking the one thing that actually matters: love. In fact, when we look at 1 Corinthians 13, we should be digesting the chapter before it when Paul talks about spiritual gifts and unity and diversity in the church. Remember, chapters and Bible verses wouldn't be added until about 1,500 years after this letter was written. We have to look at it as a whole. Paul is saying, yeah, gifts are good, but love is the greatest power that we have as a church body. It's the more excellent way, the better way than what the Corinthian church had been doing. Love doesn't seek promotion of self. It's not short-fused or offensive. Love doesn't hurt others or damage the community, and it doesn't dehumanize. Love is the more excellent way, the way we truly experience and share God. Spiritual gifting is just a shadow of a greater reality: love. Love is the higher reality where we all come together. Love is the unifier, and it was love that the Corinthian church was missing. So this Bible verse that we use at weddings is actually part of Paul's powerful admonishment of a church that was falling apart. So what happened to the church in Corinth, the church that moved with the signs and wonders of God? The Bible doesn't tell us, but post-apostolic literature does. let's just say they didn't listen to Paul for very long. You can have all the spiritual gifting in the world, but it's all going to fall apart if you're not pursuing and uniting in love, which is Jesus himself. 1 Corinthians 13 is not about romantic love. It's a call to action for the Corinthian church to get their ish together and move from a place of love to come together where they agreed instead of fracturing where they disagree. 2,000 years and 45,000 Christian faith streams, denominations, sects, and cults later, you would have thought we would have figured it out by now. But hey, love all too often is an afterthought. God bless. See you soon.